iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here tonight, race fans, to the Oxford Plains Speedway. Tonight for the Best Colorful Creations 125 here from Oxford. The Best Colorful Creations Pro Series is back in action here with the Upstate Racing League. And my name is Roger Muth to bring you all the racing action here tonight from the virtual Oxford Plains Speedway. Off last week due to illness here in the studio, so we are glad to be back here. We heard we missed a barn burner last week where Brian Hacker was able to pick up his first ever career win with the Upstate Racing League. That'll put 2 new drivers in the record book this season. Actually, 3 new record holders this season that have picked up their first ever career wins with the Upstate Racing League. So, well, unfortunately, we missed Brian Hacker's victory last week, but tonight we will not miss who picks up the win here at the Oxford Plains Speedway. 25 drivers have joined us here tonight at Oxford, so we're getting ready here as these drivers are currently in their qualifying session. Tonight we do have qualifying. We will not handicap the field. We will line them up here for 125 laps based off their qualifying lap times. So all 25 drivers will make the feature here tonight at Oxford. So buckle up, get ready, because this is the tightest, smallest track with a berm to the inside and no wall to the outside to save these drivers. That inside curbing, it's like Martinsville for the NASCAR fans that are tuning in. There is a curb down around the inside of turns 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and there is no outside wall, so you can definitely go up and out of the ballpark here tonight at Oxford. It's just about time, though, to take to the starting lineup here tonight, so let's take you down trackside as qualifying is already in the books here tonight. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Starting on the front row, he'll drive car number 6. He is a multiple-time winner on the tour. This will be Joe Schaefer Jr. To the outside, a champion in car number 75. That'll be Mike Alexander. And the doctor, piloting car number 39, Bill Martin, will start back to the 3rd spot here tonight. While the G-Man, the 13G of Guillaume Fortin, will start back into the 4th spot. Matthew Barkhouse, car number 15, will start from the 5th position here tonight. And the first rookie on the starting grid here tonight, car number 66 of Stephen Roachford. Rodney Hondu, not far from the track here tonight. He will pilot car number 4. He'll start 7th. And the number 73 of Vernon Woodard back into the 8th position. And then it'll be the Misfit Motorsports number 81, the Best Colorful Creations number 81 of Jimmy McIntyre Jr. Justin Fuller back in action here tonight. Snuck in the back gates here. Car number 51 will start 10th. It's the 2T of Michael Trevarth, and he'll start from the 11th starting spot, while the Bartell Builders, number 2B of Brett Bartels, will start back into P number 12. 13th starting spot on the call here tonight. It'll be the number 88 of Matt Eddy in the Eddy Performance Solutions, number 88. He'll start 3rd. 4th spot here tonight will be the car number 23 out of the western side of the United States. That'll be Ellie Musgrave in car number 23. Back into 15th then, it's the Lightning McQueen number 12 entry of Brian Rogers Jr., while Al Smith Jr., the number 96, the Stand RC Speedway number 96, goes 16th. 17th will go to the Mad Racing number 88 of Matt McLean. And how about J-Mac, number 20, Justin McDuff will start into the 18th starting spot, and no practice on the call here tonight. It'll be Dalton Williamson in car number 1. Will start 19th. Starting into the 20th spot here tonight, that'll be Scott Austin in the Austin Designs, number 5. He'll start 20th. 21st on the call then tonight, the checkered flag, auto supply number 40 of Rob Higgins, and the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes, number 13 MA of Joshua Buckley, 22nd. Andy Lambert in car number 72 back into the 23rd spot. 24th will be the 7-11 of Brett Hahn, and then rounding out the field, KCB Yeti, car number 45, will take the final spot here tonight on the call. So a lot of good drivers here tonight making the call to the Oxford Plains Speedway. We'll see who will be able to hold on to it. The Arts Barbershop point standings does have Guillaume Fortin as the top spot with Bill Martin 48 points back and Brian Hacker 74 points back. Matthew Barkhouse in the 4th spot. He is currently 78 points out of the championship top spot. Come here into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone as the green flag will be up this time. Joe Schaefer Jr. will smash the gas. Here comes Alexander, though they'll go side by side in turn number 1. On car sideways back there, that was the number 15 of Matthew Barkhouse. He was sideways, but he was able to corral that car and keep it underneath him. Lap number 1 will go to Joe Schaefer Jr. as the top competitors here tonight have already gone single file at the front of the field. So just like that, 1 lap in the book, Joe Schaefer Jr., Mike Alexander, Bill Martin, Guillaume Fortin, Matthew Barkhouse, the top 5 positions. The side-by-side battle is currently between the 81 of Jimmy McIntyre and the number 73, that is Vernon Woodard. The Stand RC Speedway number 73 of Woodard to the outside right now. Not able to get down. That's one of those things we're going to have to watch here tonight. Drivers are going to be able to get to the inside lane as fast as they can because the outside is just not the fast way around. They have not seen many passes throughout the years here at Oxford on the outside, and Justin Fuller trying to get the personal comfort, number 51, to the bottom side as he's got Lightning McQueen and the Rusties, number 12, down there. That is going to be Brian Rogers Jr., who's just trying to hold the 51 to the outside currently, as right now it is Fuller and Woodard to the outside. There's Al Smith Jr. starting to creep into the picture here. Everything out front is still Joe Schaefer Jr. and Mike Alexander, Bill Martin, your top 3 competitors. Nothing has changed to the front of the field. The only thing that is changing is the number 73 of Vernon Woodard still to the outside here. He lost the position to Matt Eddy. Now here comes the number 12 of Brian Rogers Jr. 1 car going around, and that'll be the Stand RC Speedway number 96 of Al Smith Jr. That will trigger the first caution flag of the night here. The Confusion Performance caution lights are on the speedway. The driver out of South Glens Falls, New York will trigger that one here for the first time tonight. There you see Al Smith. Al Smith, of course, is carrying the care for Colby Angel Wings on the number 96. See that right behind the number. The truck says they have it, though. Here, let's take a quick gander at it. Al Smith was 1 spot ahead of Ellie Musgrave, and nope, Al Smith looks like he's going to step on the gas, and he almost found the inside little dirt jumps down there, and then hops the curb in front of the number 40 of Higgins, and that will trigger the caution flags here tonight. So that is what's going to bring out the caution flag. Call it a solo spin by Mr. Smith. Let's see, right on board here with Smith. Let's hear how hard he gets back into the gas. Just trying to put the power down, and now Smith going to trigger that caution flag. He does have an extra set of tires down there, so we did see him come down pit road. I believe that was just to get some, fuel in that car, check the damage, and away he went. So Al Smith will get back out onto the racing surface. It does look like he will be able to stay on the lead lap. So we're still up 25 cars on the lead lap as Al Smith tags the tail of the field. So the running order looks like this. This is how they should be lining up to go back racing here. It'll be Joe Schaefer Jr., Mike Alexander, Bill Martin, Guillaume Fortin, and Matthew Barkhouse. That is the top 5 with Stephen Roachford, the first rookie. And he is actually leading the Stand RC Speedway Rookie of the Year Challenge. So he does come in. He did pick up a win this season, did Roachford, in his rookie campaign. So the driver out of Georgia, Vermont, the Uncommon Deeds podcast entry. See how well he does here on this restart. he will restart to the outside. Marky Mark down on the pace car. We're ready to go back racing into the Hanson starter shop. Restart zone. Green flags up. Good start to that inside lane, and those leaders all single filing out. Rochefort will be able to get back down in line. Look at everybody inside the top 10 already. 3 wide back here out of turn number 4. That was 3 wide. Justin Fuller was in the middle to the inside. That was the 23 of Ellie Musgrave. So Musgrave was to the inside. Fuller was in the middle. And then that was the 81 of Jimmy McIntyre, who was to the outside. They got it all figured out, though, and not a single one of them scraped each other here tonight at Oxford. 14 laps this time by will go into the books, as that is the 88 of Matt Eddy right now, the Eddy Performance Solutions number 88. There you see that Classics number 88, the driver out of Michigan. Last week was supposed to be the Eddy Performance Solutions night at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Unfortunately, we weren't able to bring you that live as our crew was a little sick and under the weather. They all went out to eat, and, well, let's just say they had some bad Domino's pizza. Fuller to the inside now, though, here of car number 88 of Matt Eddy. So Eddy going to drop a position, and he'll move back there into P number 14. And he was smart about it. He just took that car, left Fuller get right on by him, and went down to the inside. Eddy has a little damage now on the left front. I didn't quite see it myself, but the crew's saying he has some damage. One car up out of the groove. It's the Austin Designs Shillings number 5 entry. Now Scott Austin losing a spot back there. That was to Al Smith. Now here comes Andy Lambert, the Priority Auto number 72, the driver out of Vermont. Will lose a spot. Rob Higgins is right there also. So now I believe everybody down around the bottom all chasing the Joe Schaefer Jr. entry. Right on board with our Xander Sign Group onboard camera. Looking back off the race leader with Joe Schaefer Jr., Mike Alexander right there. Bill Martin just kind of pacing around in third. The doctor just hanging around, seeing what he can prescribe here at the front of the field. Guillaume Fort and Matthew Barkow still there with Stephen Rochefort, Rodney Hondoon, Michael Trevarthen, Brian Rogers Jr. along with the 88 of Matt McLean is currently the top 10 drivers here. One driver that's on the move early here is car number 45. That is Casey Bietti. Bietti started way back here tonight in the field. He's picked up 9 spots in the early going. He is the biggest mover shaker that we talk about, the driver out of Vermont. There you see the 45. Bietti has a lot of cars out in front of him to possibly go get here tonight if he wants to pick up some spots. A 2-time back-to-back winner also buried in the field here tonight. The 7-11 of Brent Hahn in the quick time entry. There you see him trailing right now. He's back into the 21st position. Right behind him, that is Al Smith Jr. trying to rebound here tonight early. 24 laps will be completed this time. The Epic Media number 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr., the driver out of Wisconsin, right now has the race lead. Coming into the night, though, Joe Schaefer down in 9th overall in the championship standings, 116 points out of the champion top spot, held currently by the number 13G of Guillaume Fortin. Could be a big points night here for Joe Schaefer Jr. because the 20 of McDuff buried in the field right now, along with Casey Bietti, Brett Hahn. So a couple of the drivers out in front of Joe Schaefer Jr. The standings here with only 2 races remaining here at Oxford, and then next week our season finale at the Five Flags Speedway. Those drivers could, be in jeopardy of losing a spot if Joe Schaefer continues to have a great run here tonight. Just under 100 laps, though, left here at the Oxford Plains Speedway. Joe Schaefer Jr. leading here currently tonight. Bill Martin taking a very strange line back there through 1 and 2 last time. He was up the track, and it looked like Guillaume was going to start to poke the nose of the 13G in there, but he looked like he is rebounded. Back down to the bottom side he goes. Right now, I'm watching those 2 cars, though. It does look like the doctor of Bill Martin is about, I'll call it a tire width up off the bottom in 1 and 2, where Guillaume in the 13G behind him is right down there holding that left side on almost that curbing. Looking at it that time by as they come through there, and yeah, that's just about what is going on. This time, Guillaume going to follow right into the tire tracks, that time down into turns 3 and 4. One car going around, I do believe, and that is going to be the 88 of Matt Eddy. A couple of them out there going through the grass. I hate to tell them, we're not cutting the grass here tonight. Oh, there's the number 1. That is going to be Dalton Williamson also. So Eddy's out there. Williamson is out there, I believe. Justin McDuff also out there. We just talked about McDuff in the championship standings. We'll have to take a look back here in just a moment. Matt Eddy's car has some severe damage on the left front. Dalton Williamson down around the apron side. He missed practice here tonight. His front end wadded up looking like one of those open-wheel modifieds that run here at the Oxford Plains Speedway. Usually that's not how you want your super late model to be looking. Let's take a look here. Oh, it looks like McDuff and Williamson get together. Matt Eddy, wrong place, wrong time, going down into the corner. Take a look here. Oh, Williamson got to the inside of McDuff, and not sure from that angle if McDuff came down the track. Josh Buckley just getting it, or just able to escape that. Yeah, there you see from that angle from the press box that the 1 was to the inside of the 20. Right on board with Matt Eddy. I'd say you kept it out of the wall, race fans, but hey, there is no wall. There's no wall out there to talk of. So it's the second time the confusion performance caution lights have been clicked on around the speedway. We'll come back into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone, though, right here after caution flag number 2 tonight. Marky Mark, the funky bunch, take the iRacing.com pace car down and in. Green flag back up. Schaefer with another good start. Alexander, the veteran, move there, just backing off, allowing him to get it. Look at everybody. Here comes Rochefort to the inside. Gonna get the door slammed by Matthew Barkhouse. Rochefort trying to make it to the inside. Was not able to. Rodney Hontoon now to the inside. He'll pick up a spot on the restart. Back to 7th now for Hontoon. Here comes Matt McLean. He'll take the spot. Michael Trevorth then trying to get to the bottom. Contact. Oh, Fuller around. Fuller around, log jam, turn number 3. Caution lights coming back out here. That all started with Michael Trevarth and the 73 of Vernon Woodard, along with the 51 of Justin Fuller. And then cars scattering everywhere. So the third time, the confusion performance caution lights coming on around the speedway here tonight at Oxford. Justin Fuller now bringing the number 51. He'll come to pit road. The driver out of New York making his return here at Oxford. So Fuller on pit road. See if we can watch it back here. There you see the 73 of Woodard into the back of the 2. Casey Pietty into the back of the 51. And then everything comes to a head down there. See the 2 of Trevarthen try to go to the inside, and Woodard was right there, tried to roll into the corner a little bit farther. Wasn't much of room there for, we'll say, the number 2, but just enough that he tried to get in there. Right on board with Brett Hahn and the Xander Sign Group onboard camera. You get into the back of the number 12 of Brian Rogers Jr. Doubled up, ready to come back into the restart zone here after our third caution flag of the evening. Pace car down and in, and Joe Schaefer Jr. going to jump on the accelerator very quickly. Battle between the 15 and the 13G here. Oh, a little hip check there by Barkhouse to the number 13G of Guillaume. Guillaume going to lose 1-2 spots on that restart. And oh, he's going to get turned off the front end of the 4. Caution lights on again here on lap number 42, and it's going to be with the 13G of Guillaume Fortin parked out in the gravel trap in turns 1 and 2. The Confusion Performance caution lights back on. With Rodney Hontoon and Guillaume Fortin getting stuck together, both running inside the top 10. Take a look there. The Hontoon had a little bit of an inside advantage on the 13G, and around is going to go Guillaume. He'll wind up in the gravel. Neither driver really suffering any damage. Both drivers were able to get back out onto the racetrack, and I'm looking at it. I do believe both will stay on the lead lap. Problem is, they're going to be buried here tonight at Oxford. And when I say buried, I'm talking about they are now going to be back there around the 20th on back position. Right now, it looks like Hontoon is actually holding his position. We'll see if he does have to drop to the tail of the field. We'll see how the race admins hold that wreck, or if Guillaume will just be at fault going to the rear of the field. Well, race fans, we got to thank you tonight for tuning in to watch the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series presented by the Upstate Racing League. Best Colorful Creations is your custom cake headquarters for the Upstate Racing League. Your next special cake, make it a special moment and give Best Colorful Creations the call, the exclusive cake provider of the URL. And just so you know, race fans, they have some of the best cake pops that you will ever have. The Stand RC Speedway is the Rookie of the Year sponsor this season. The Stand RC Speedway, a remote control racing track located in Gainesville, New York, racing on Thursday nights, May through October. So if you're in the RC club, make sure to check out the Stand RC Speedway. You'll be able to catch some of the racers you see here with the Upstate Racing League out at the Stand RC Speedway. Stephen Rochefort is the highest running rookie in that category of the Stand RC Speedway rookies this season. He also has the top spot in the standings, the top spot here tonight. He's leading all the rookies in those categories tonight. Pace car lights off, so the Confusion Performance caution lights turned off all around the speedway after caution flag number 4 here. So on the completion of lap number 47, back to green flag into the Hanson starter shop, restart zone. Same song, same dance for Schaefer and Alexander, and we'll see if anybody is able to navigate this tricky track here tonight at Oxford. Casey Bietti still on the hunt like a wolf, and he is hungry. Look at the youngster. To the inside of the number 15 of Matthew Barkhouse, Bietti has picked up 20 spots. He started back dead last shotgun on the field here tonight at Oxford, and that 45 is showing that he belongs in the top half of this field. Now Bietti got himself in front of Barkhouse. We'll see if he can go up there and run down Rochefort, Martin, Alexander, and Schaefer, who have been the class of the field so far here tonight. Still got them stacked up 2 by 2 back here. Rodney Hontoon on the outside. He's not been able to get the power down to that car. Did restart in 6th. Now he's all the way back to 13th. Position with car number 4 for Rodney Hontoon. Here comes now the Austin Designs. Number 5 of Scott Austin to the inside of car number 4. It's a long line down, wrapping around the bottom side. Jimmy McIntyre in car number 81 also stuck to the outside right now, along with Vernon Woodard. The outside lane, race fans, has not been anywhere that you want to be here tonight. Andy Lambert picking up a spot there from the 81 of Jimmy McIntyre. So Lambert moving up now. He's picked up 6 spots. Andy Lambert only running part-time here with the series with the Upstate Racing League this season. Showing some very good pace here tonight, though, at Oxford, his home track on the schedule. 7-11 of Brett Hahn back here. Rodney Hontoon still stuck to the outside. Remember, Hahn got some damage, did not qualify very well here tonight at Oxford. Joshua Buckley back there in the 13MA, put himself up against the curbing. Here comes the 13G. Guillaume just not able to, buried back into the field right now, not able to pick up any spots. We talk about this series here at the Upstate Racing League. They do allow one drop, or I believe it's one, maybe two drop weeks. I could be mistaken at this point. This is the last week that you can use a drop week, so if Guillaume needed to, he could use it here this week at Oxford. Don't want to be bulldozing yourself through the field going into the final race of the season next week at the Five Flags Speedway. Another car on the move here tonight. Car number 23, Ellie Musgraves, already picked up 6 spots early on. Driver out of Washington. Little damage to the nose piece of that Camaro, but otherwise the car looks pretty stout and looks pretty good here tonight, wrapping around the bottom side of the speedway. Right now she's back into the 8th spot following Matt McLean, just 1 spot ahead of Brian Rogers Jr. All competitors up front here. Schaefer, Alexander, Martin. They have not switched spots here tonight, along with Bill Martin, who's back there in that yellow number 39. The Doctor has started third. He's running third, 1 spot ahead of Stephen Rochefort. And then there's Casey Bietti. We talked about Bietti already picking up the most spots here tonight at Oxford. Closing in on halfway home, though. Who's going to have the car on the long run towards the end of this one? There's the 39. We talked about the Doctor. Bill Martin. It's not quite the season Martin has thought he was going to have. He still sits second overall in the championship standings. Once you break everything down, he did pick up a win back on the Hanson Starter Shop Dan Dubuque Memorial 161. He picked up that win. He's only finished on the podium 3 other times. He's only led this season. This is a career low looking through the stat book. A career low for Bill Martin in laps led this season. It is only 12, and he only led those 12 laps in the race that he picked up the win. 1 car off the speedway. 1 car off the speedway. That was the 7-11 entry of Brett Hahn. There you see him back onto the racing surface, but he took it to the infield there. So the 7-11 here tonight really struggling here at Oxford. Al Smith Jr. underneath the 2B, the Bartell Builders 2B of Brett Bartels. Bartels will fall back now into the 14th position as Smith tries to rally back through the field. Started in 16th, worked himself inside the top 10 for a moment, and then, well, brought the first caution flag out of the evening, had to drop to the tail of the field. Now Smith is running into the 13th position. Had the pleasure of talking to Al Smith over the last couple of days and about how the league is going and what the plans are going to be going forward. And he said, well, got a brand new baby at home. He's not getting much sleep, so right now he's unsure of the plans going forward with the car and the series and to see what's going to happen through the summer months. And we'll see if we're coming back next year. So hopefully Al Smith can get some sleep. He's kind of like Oscar the Grouch right now. I'm only kidding, race fans, only kidding. But Al Smith does have a new baby out there, so not getting much sleep. And did just flash upon me that the 13G having some problems. Guillaume back here, still running into the 21st position. Had a little bit of a moment back there, but 2 laps ago, and it looks like he's all right. He's back up underneath Andy Lambert. 1 car slow to the outside there. That is the 88 of Matt Eddy. Guillaume trying to get to the inside of the number 72 of Andy Lambert. Lambert racing real hard back here for the 20th position. Guillaume will now get to the inside and see if he can get this position into turn 3. Looks like he should be able to complete that pass. That's the battles that are battling back here for about the 15th on back. So if they're battling that hard for these positions, how hard do you think that Mike Alexander is going to battle Joe Schaefer Jr. if he can get to the back bumper of that Epic Media number 6? So Schaefer out front leading here. He'll complete lap number 74 when he comes back around here. And that'll be the 74th lap led this evening by the Epic Media number 6. Stephen Rochefort in that number 66, continuing to hound the back of the number 39 of Bill Martin. You know, it's been a season here for the number 66 of Stephen Rochefort, a driver that came into the series as an unknown driver and having a really good season for a rookie campaign. First 3 races of the season, very rough for him, finishing 35th, 34th, and 29th. Then he went on a tear. He has not finished outside the top 10 since the first 3 races of the season. He finished 5th back on December the 17th in the Hanson Starter Shop Dan Dubuque Memorial. Then he picked up the win in the Best Colorful Creations 125. Then he finished his lowest, 10th. And since then, it's been 5th, 9th, 4th, 3rd, and here tonight, running into the 4th position, just over the halfway point home here tonight. So still a lot of racing left, but Rochefort definitely showing in these, well, call it the last 8 weeks, that he belongs towards the front of this field. He also led every lap back in his only victory of the season on December the 14th. That was at the Langley Speedway. So Rochefort still trying to find his way around the doctor. Casey Bietti still hanging out back here. Makes you wonder, with Bietti having to come through the field like he did he use the tires up on car number 45? We see the nose piece damaged in on him. The accordion effect here is, oh, Bietti off the curbing. He's going to hang on to it, but boy, was he off the curbing. Had the car all upset. You don't want to upset it too much. We just started to talk about the tires for Casey Bietti, and then sideways he goes. That's not going to help the tires on car number 45. Just behind him, Matthew Barkhouse in the Hoonigan, number 15. Lap traffic, though, out in front of the race leaders here. Joe Schaefer Jr. just put down the 7-Eleven of Brett Hahn. That'll put Matt Eddy as the next car on the chopping block. Where's the race leader? There he is. Caught a half a straightaway as we ride on board with our Xander Sign Group onboard camera on car number 88 of Matt Eddy. Eddy was inside the top 10. Now has fallen all the way back to the 22nd position. You can hear the car's just not rotating right now. Off the throttle, little burp, and just not quite able to get back into it to get the straightaway speed. Not that these straightaways are very long here, but you want to be able to stay in the throttle as much as you can to keep the momentum wound up around this very small little bull ring. Still Schaefer, Alexander, Martin, and everybody's still lined up around the bottom here following Bill Martin. Vernon Woodard getting passed up. 13G finally starting here on the longer run to start to make some moves on drivers. Remember, Guillaume had to go to the tail of the field after getting turned around. Him and Rodney Hontoon getting together in the 13G, going to the tail of the field, and had to restart back into the 23rd position, now up to 17th here on lap number 88 for Guillaume. He's got Joshua Buckley out in front of him, the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes entry. There you see the driver out of Massachusetts, making his first full-time campaign here this season with the Upstate Racing League. And said it's definitely one of those series that definitely puts perspective in the quality of racers out there, the strength of the field. And Joshua Buckley up 6 spots here tonight at Oxford, one of his least favorite tracks on the series. At one point, Al Smith went around. We talked about the Stand RC Speedway entry, the driver out of South Glens Falls, New York. He's now running 12th. That's Justin McDuff. McDuff also wrapped up in a wreck early on. He's back to running into the 11th spot. Brian Rogers Jr., he's got some contact. Brett Hahn was into the back of the Rusties, number 12 at one point, as Rogers inside the top 10. Then Scott Austin picking up 11 spots. Scott Austin sitting in 11th. There's the driver, the Schillings Austin Designs entry. Good run for car number 5. I believe that's his 3rd week out here with the brand new paint scheme on car number 5, showing here tonight at Oxford. Ellie Musgrave making a pass here. Matt McLean up out of the groove. Ellie Musgrave will walk on through the door. Got Rumar Vinyl Designs riding on the quarter panel. So car number 23 here with Ellie, one of the sponsors here with the Upstate Racing League. Ellie now running 7th. That's the, well, she's picked up 7. Now she's running 7th. Wonder how much tire she has left underneath car number 23, because we're closing in on 30 laps to go here. A lot of the tires tonight for these drivers probably going away little by little. They do have an extra set of tires if we were to get a late race yellow. The problem is late race yellow, tight little bull ring track. Not a lot of time for your crew to put tires on, because you can go a lap down on pit road. Will anybody, if we get one, choose to come to pit road? There's a 7-Eleven of Brett Hahn. He's down a lap to the race leader right now. Next car that will possibly go a lap down. There you saw him. Car number 40, Rob Higgins, the cowboy. Always wears his cowboy hat and drinks a Busch Light when he's racing here on the iRacing.com service. Rob also said this is probably his least favorite track. As he'll work the outside, he'll give Joe Schaefer Jr. the inside lane if he wants it, and he will take the inside lane. Alexander still back there pacing about, call it 3/4 of a second behind the race leader of Joe Schaefer Jr. here on lap number 99. Battle with Michael Trevarthen and Vernon Woodard. Both those drivers have been together here a time or two tonight, rubbing a little fenders. Michael Trevarthen, though, looks like maybe the handling has gone away on the BK Paints number 2T. So Trevarthen back to running at 18th now in his rookie race here with the Upstate Racing League. Justin McDuff just roughed up Brian Rogers Jr., got him up out of the groove, and that opened up the door for Al Smith Jr. So McDuff and Smith passing up Rogers right now. So that'll put now Justin McDuff back into the 10th spot, Al Smith into 11th, and Brian Rogers back there running in 12th. 24 laps to go here tonight at Oxford for the Best Colorful Creations 125 for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series presented by the Upstate Racing League. Matt Eddy having some problems, I do believe. Got it gathered up, but I do believe he was sideways there in front of the race leader. So he keeps it going. There's the Eddy Performance Solutions entry. Bartels has gone a lap down. He's battling with Rob Higgins. There you see the Bartel Builders. 2B, the driver out of Iowa. So with your race leaders entering lap traffic coming up on 20 laps to go, it really has not fazed Joe Schaefer Jr. here tonight. He's been able to keep the Epic media on point here, putting the media on blast that he could possibly be on his way to going to victory lane here tonight at Oxford. He'll join the list of Brian Hacker, Brett Hahn, Guillaume Fortin, Matthew Barkhouse, Roachfort, Bill Martin, and Justin Fuller if he can keep this number 6 on point here the rest of the way. This is one of those Coach's Corner Challenge races here tonight. Of course, that is the drivers that are eligible or the drivers that compete on dirt and asphalt. So right now, I do believe Scott Austin is leading the way of the drivers that are competing in both series here tonight. When we take a look at the Coach's Corner standings, Guillaume Fortin has a 20-point lead over Brian Hacker. So it looks like Guillaume, as long as he can finish this race off here tonight and finish on Sunday night, he should be actually clinching the Coach's Corner Challenge Championship. Justin Fuller was the driver that picked that up last year. As you see your race leaders going through lap traffic, that's going to hold up Mike Alexander because Joe Schaefer Jr. has just got around these 4 cars and put 4 cars in between, and they are side by side in front of Mike Alexander. That is the 88 of Matt Eddy, and I believe that was the 72 of Andy Lambert. All these drivers are battling for positions, so they have the right to battle as hard as they can to hold those positions and stay in front of the drivers that are on the lead lap. Well, But if you're Mike Alexander right now, you're screaming, can they please just get out of the way? I want to try and run down that 6 machine, but that 6 machine is in a whole nother area code right now for Joe Schaefer Jr. "13 laps to go here tonight at Oxford. "13 to go, and the only battles are for those spots that we just talked about. Between Matt Eddy, Michael Trevarthen, and Andy Lambert. Joshua Buckley is the next car that's on the block to go a lap down. And you can see it's Buckley, it's Woodard, it's Fortin, it's Hontoon, McIntyre. They are all just wrapped around the bottom side of the speedway. Look at everybody. Everybody from Ellie Musgrave. Ellie's running in 7th all the way back to 17th. Just kind of zipper effect down around the bottom. And your race leader is going to see just 10 laps to go. And he's sitting about, call it 10 car lengths off the back of the field. Will the rest of that lap traffic come into play? He has a 2-second race lead right now. If you're Joe Schaefer Jr., how hard do you push the Epic Media Ford Mustang? There you see him. Nice and easy into the corner, no pressure. And everybody, a little bumper tag there, check up in the corner. It was one bumper from the 96, from the 12, from the 81, then Hontoon, then Guillaume. Everybody trying to go. They know it's the closing laps here. There's C7 to go this time. You might have to move somebody if you want the spot that bad here tonight. You also don't want to be the driver, though, that picks up the late race caution that might change the outcome of this race. Bill Martin getting more pressure, though, from Stephen Roachfort for the final podium position. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. We're come by this time. We will see just 5 laps to go. They're going to be waving at the Epic Media number 6. 5 laps to go for Joe Schaefer Jr. here tonight, as he has now caught the back of the field. How hard do you pressure it now? You still have a 2-second lead. It'll be 4.5. It'll be 4 out of turn number 4 this time. Ellie Musgrave starting to pull away from that 88 of Matt McLean, so she's looking pretty stout here at the closing laps of this one. 4 to go for Joe Schaefer Jr. Joshua Buckley looks like he is opening up the inside lane here for the Epic Media number 6. He will not contest to stay on the lead lap here tonight at Oxford. Held a good, strong, steady wheel here. Now the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes number 13 MA down a lap to the race leader. They're come by this time. They're see him throwing them up, winding them up. It'll be just 2 more times around the Oxford Plains Speedway. Joe Schaefer Jr. just wants to get back here to the white flag. He'll see it this time out of turn 4. It'll be the white flag presented by Carpenter's Tax Service. 1 lap to go here to cash the big check here for Joe Schaefer Jr. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Does not have to go up there and get the 73 of Vernon Woodard. Just has to roll turns 3 and 4. He will. It'll be Joe Schaefer Jr. picking up the win here tonight at Oxford. It'll be Mike Alexander, Bill Martin, Stephen Roachfort coming across the line. And, they're wrecking down the back straightaway. Wrecking the 88 of Matt McLean has been turned around. Now Brian Rogers Jr. off into the grass. It'll be Joe Schaefer Jr., Mike Alexander, Bill Martin, Stephen Roachfort, KCP Yeti, Matthew Barkhouse, Ellie Musgrave, Scott Austin, Justin McDuff, and Al Smith Jr. rounding down the top 10 positions here tonight. As for the first time this season, the Epic Media number 6 will be the driver that will go to victory lane. There you see him, the driver out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. So with Schaefer picking up the big W here tonight at Oxford, we'll see what he has to say. That is Mike Alexander and Bill Martin also winding down on the podium. We'll talk to those 3 drivers as soon as we come back from the commercial break. We'll be right back here to the Oxford Plains Speedway after the Best Golf Recreations 125 is in the books here tonight.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Oxford Plains Speedway for the Best Colorful Creations 125 for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series, presented by the Upstate Racing League, with just 2 races left in the season now. With this one being in the books, it was a good one, so let's get this party started here with the podium finishers. Let's start things off with the driver of car number 6 that will finish P number 1. After you lead all the laps here tonight, Joe Schaefer, you gotta feel pretty good here at Oxford, because this one is always a very tough track for these drivers, and tonight it proved that for everybody out there.
Yeah, the tough part about Oxford is that sometimes they can kind of race like Monaco, where set fast time and don't make a mistake, and you end up winning the feature. But just happy to be on the right end of one of these things. I love Oxford, and just everything about this place kind of fits my driving style. So I had this one circled, and I feel like anytime I'm in a good spot here with track position and I can save tires for the first half of the race, I like my chances overall.
Did you mention Monaco?
Pretty much, yeah. This track even has curbs.
Not even sure where that is in the world of racing, but hey, we make left-hand turns. I don't know about those right-hand turns. Maybe when you make a right-hand turn, it's a mistake, and I don't know. It's just me. But hey, first win of the season, that's got to feel pretty good because, well, the season's winding down. It's Oxford, and now we head to the Five Flags Speedway, and it's been kind of a down year, so can we take the momentum out of Oxford and head over to Five Flags and possibly close this one out and pick up some spots late?
Yeah, I hope so. I pretty much gave up on the points chase a few weeks ago. It's not been my year, so we're racing for wins and wins only this week and next, and if I can qualify towards the front again and spend some time saving like I did tonight, I'd like to see what happens when we make it to checkered flag.
Well, we look forward to seeing you next week. The checkered flag, though, is yours here tonight at Oxford, so the red carpet rolls out for the first time this season as you add and win to your win tally here with the Upstate Racing League, who makes this all possible on this, well, we're called a new paint scheme for the year.
Now, first and foremost, I'll thank Dr. Noise Custom Paint and Diecast. I can't paint cars on my own, and the luck with this one's been up and down, but I'll pay him a little more for the next one. He can build in some more luck. Also, I'd like to thank Drew Krybeck with Epic Media, and you guys for putting on the show. Missed you last week. And as always, Al for putting this all together for us.
There you hear it. Joe Schaefer Jr., the driver out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, will take the Epic Media number 6 to victory lane here tonight as he picks up his first win of the season. The driver that will finish one spot back there, he thought he was saving enough tires, Mike, but it looks like, well, that right front is absolutely gone.
Yeah, no, Joe did he did a better job saving, and he was in his own league here tonight. So I'm just happy to get back on the podium. I've had a real rough year this year, and it's been beating on my confidence. So it's feels really good to get back to the podium.
Yeah, down in the points coming into the night after adding all those drop weeks in, 11th overall in the championship standings. But tonight you talk about it, it's confidence. What does that confidence mean here? Because you stayed out of the curbing and you stayed out of the gravel trap out there all night.
Yeah, I've always liked this track, and I figured I'd be good here, but I don't know. I don't really like the non-qualifying format. It hasn't played to my favor at all, and I don't know. I think the qualifying format tonight kind of produced better racing, so maybe I'll hint that towards Al.
Well, sometimes you got to twist the old man's ear and get him to listen here and there, but I mean, it's good to know that he doesn't listen to you and he doesn't listen to me either, so I guess we're all in the same boat around here. But hey, this car tonight, it was fast. You couldn't run down that 6 machine. Did you think the lap traffic, though, tonight might have been something that could help you or hurt you?
Once Joe started going a little harder there, I pretty much knew it was game over. Even with the lap traffic, everybody's pretty cordial and doesn't really give you too many opportunities. So I think he was just in his own league. So I'm happy with a second.
You're happy with a second. Great race overall here tonight, Mike. So I guess we're saying who's on the car?
I just want to thank Arnar Kinsman's Auto Salvage, Xander Sign Group, Rev Racing, and Matt Barkhouse. You guys putting this on, and Al's for keeping Upstate going. I think that's it.
There you hear it. He's a past champion tonight, though. He will finish second. Mike Alexander, car number 75, second overall. I guess we're talking to the driver over here in the third spot. Do you have your headset and microphone on, Mr. Bill Martin?
Nobody sticks around to listen to the third place guy talk.
Well, let me check. You still have 17 people here that want to hear what you have to say after 125 laps here at the Oxford Plains.
They're taking a pee.
Oh, hold on. As soon as I introduced you, it dropped from 17 to 9. So you're right. There's nobody listening to you. So go ahead.
There you go. There you go. What do you want to know?
What do I want to know? What did you do last week, and how was your night tonight?
What did I do last week? Like, in terms of the race?
Nah, we'll skip that. How'd you do tonight?
Yeah, last week was fine because I didn't crash finally.
You didn't crash tonight either.
No, it went pretty good. I realized about 65-70% of the way into the race that I wasn't turning the wheel enough. So I was like, man, I feel I just can't keep up with these guys.
Did
and
you
I
try
started
pushing
turning
the
the
gas?
wheel more. Well, so there's this thing that I discovered in the real world, but it works. It happens to me in iRacing too. So I used to drive on 8-inch tires, and one day when I was in the vintage class, after switching over to the Matador, somebody loaned me some wider tires. They're actually 9-inch tires, and I realized halfway through the race, because of the grip level of the tires having that extra inch, and just being a softer tire, that I wasn't turning the wheel as much as I needed to. And the second I did, I dropped my lap times by multiple tenths per second. And I've noticed with a track like this one, I'll expand my ratio on the wheel to 12-1, and if I'm not thinking about it, I'll end up just not turning the wheel enough. And by the time I realize it, everybody is hounding back of my car. It's like, I don't think I'm turning the wheel enough. I am a noob. I'm not, but sometimes noob things happen still.
Yeah, sometimes that extra inch definitely gives you a little bit more of an advantage, but your back bumper was definitely being beat off there by the 66 of Stephen Rochefort. Were you worried about that? Because this track, the little contact can send you to the ballpark.
No, not really. Yeah, he was really close, and he was, in a prime position to take advantage of any mistake that I had made. And then when I had realized, I don't think I'm turning the wheel enough, then I started to make a little bit of a gap. But after driving more than half the race, driving it wrong, essentially, it was pretty limited how much time I had before the right front kind of gave away, and then Steven caught right back up to me again. So at that point, I'm like, he might give me a nudge with the laps running down, but, I mean, that's fair. But no, everybody was really cordial today, as Mike said. So, hooray! I got to talk to you, I guess.
Yeah, well, in that case, we're going to wrap this one up. Who do you got to thank about your pixelated virtual car?
Thanks to Bells and Quite Bright for being on the car. I'm still waiting on that fantasy paycheck that they're supposed to be sending me that I made up in my own brain, but I'm sure it's in the mail. Thanks also to Joe and to Matt Eddy for being on the team with me and driving every week. Thanks to Mike Alexander for accepting my allowing him, no matter what, to go in front of me, because I definitely didn't want to start on the outside if I could help it. So, thanks, Mike, for taking second place. Thank you for doing apparently the broadcast all by yourself. Thanks to Al for adding tires to this race. That was a terrible idea, Al, but it didn't matter because it went green, so it's fine. Giving us tires for the first time all year. What a guy. What a guy. I ain't got anybody else to thank.
There you hear it, another one of the drivers calling out Al Smith for tires here tonight at the Oxford Plains Speedway. And actually, I believe it's the second or third time we've had tires. People just don't pay attention, including myself. So Bill over there going to go take those tires. Maybe he'll make a coffee table virtually. Maybe we can see him put that somewhere in his virtual portfolio. But Joe Schaefer Jr. is the winner here tonight after 125 laps. He will lead all 125 laps after qualifying on the pole. Mike Alexander spent 125 laps in second. Bill Martin also followed suit, 125 laps in third. Then it was Rochford there into the fourth position, and then picking up the most spots here tonight, Casey Bietti picking up 20 spots here tonight at Oxford. That's right, he started shotgun to the field, worked himself up into the fifth position, just could not get around Rochford or Martin or Alexander to run down Schaefer. And then it was going to be Matthew Barkhouse, who dropped one spot here tonight. He'll finish in sixth. Ellie Musgrave picking up 7 to finish in seventh. Scott Austin had an eventful night. He'll finish into the 8th spot. Justin McDuff, also an eventful night, rallying back for 9th. Same with Al Smith Jr. He'll round out the top 10 here tonight at the Oxford Plains Speedway. Well, that's going to about wrap things up here from Oxford, but that means there is one final race on the season. That's right, it all will come down to the Five Flags Speedway for the Rumar Vinyl Designs 125 next week at the Five Flags Speedway. Kelly Dahl will be back with us. He's quite under the weather here tonight, so Kelly, you're out there watching. We hope you're feeling a little bit better after watching a great race here with the Upstate Racing League here at the Oxford Plains Speedway. But for everybody at the Upstate Racing League, everybody with Beth Golf Creations, and all of us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, we hope you enjoyed tonight's virtual broadcast here from the Oxford Plains Speedway. And until we see you next week at the Five Flags Speedway, we hope you all stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.